RoadGlideSully here, checking in from the once independent Lone Star State. So, hopefully last night you saw several videos from folks talking about the Cellar experiment that we are all doing. And I had intended fully on doing my video last night as well, but I had an opportunity to spend some time with my boy. If I haven't told you before, my boy is 18 years old. He's graduating high school this year, and he's going to go off to college as soon as the summer's over. So any opportunity that I get to hang out with the boy, I'm going to take it. So I did. What that meant was I didn't actually get my video done for the May 1st launch of the RoadGlideSully Cellar experiment. So I am doing it on May 2nd. I'm only a day late. It's all right. Good news is I did get all of my tobaccos packed up on May 1st. So I did that after my boy and I got back home. I just didn't have it in me to get the video done as well. So that is good news. What I'm gonna do is kind of walk you through what I have. Hopefully you've already seen videos from PT Daly, Lester Skinner, Mel Harris, Zach the Four-Eyed Piper, and Eric Rana. So you've seen videos, or at least if you haven't seen videos, that's okay, because I've added them to the playlist. So I have a Pipe Tobacco Cellar Management Series playlist on my channel. I've added all of their videos to that list. I will also add this video to that list so you can follow from start to finish. And I'll keep adding anything that I do in terms of cellar management. I've seen several other videos. I watched Fireman Andy do a video, and I watched Frosty Piper do a video on cellar management as well. And both of them were great videos. And just a couple more examples of how you can actively and or not actively manage your cellar. Frosty talked about a shotgun approach, which is buy a little bit of everything and put it all in the cellar, combined with a more methodical approach, which is the things that you really like, stock up, have a lifetime supply, that kind of thing. Really good video. Check it out, Frosty Piper. And then Fireman Andy did his video, and he kind of walked through his cellar, and he's from a newbie's perspective. And so he's just kind of getting started on all this, and he's asking folks for advice. So if you haven't seen his video, go check out Fireman Andy's video on cellar management and offer up some suggestions to him. This is what the YTPC, I said it right the first time. But this is what we're about, is getting folks started, helping folks learn about the hobby. And you guys have an opportunity to do that over on Fireman Andy's channel. And I forgot to mention when I did the original recording of this video that I did also add Frosty Piper and Fireman Andy's video to the Pipe Tobacco Cellar Management Series. So check out both of their videos by going to that playlist on my channel. Okay, so let's get into the cellar experiment. So what I am doing is I'm going to do two different sets. So I have two sets of tobacco here in front of me. I'll show you and walk you through all of them, just in case you want to replicate this. The reason I have two sets is because I want to do a hot version, or what I'm going to call the hot version. It's not always going to be hot, but it's going to be in my garage. Not in the air-conditioned part, but in the non-air-conditioned part. So it'll go through some temperature swings. It'll go probably anywhere down to the 40s in the middle of winter and all the way up to probably 100 degrees coming up here soon this summer. So it'll go through one whole year of that cycle. So if you remember back to the original video, I'll give you kind of a high-level overview. What we're trying to do is figure out what the different environmental variables do to aging tobacco. And by environment, I mean not only the environment that the tin or the jar sits in, but also the environment that the tobacco is in, inside those jars or tins. So what I'm going to show you is I've got 3 different samples. Actually, I've got 6 different samples, but two groups. So the first one is, this is my Bayou Morning. So I chose Bayou Morning. The reason I chose Bayou Morning is because I'm pretty sure I'm familiar with this blend. I've smoked a lot of it, and I think it'll be easier for me to pick out any nuances between the samples once we're done. So you'll see I call this one the Anaerobic Hot. What that means is that this one is never going to be opened. So this is, I sealed it yesterday. It's not going to be unsealed not until May 1st, 2020. I also have what I'm calling the AC version of that, and that'll be the one that I keep inside the house. So this one will have climate control the whole year. The second one that I have jarred up anyway, is what I call the aerobic. So this one's going to have oxygen introduced on a regular basis. You'll notice I put open often. I'm going to try to open it up once every couple of weeks if I can remember and my technology works out right to remind me. But worst case, I'm going to open it up on a monthly basis. First of every month, when I change my contact lenses, I'm going to open this sucker up. I want to do it a little bit more because I want to make sure that there's a lot of oxygen in this on a regular basis. But this is my hot one, and then I also have the AC version as well, right? I keep calling it the AC version. Technically, it's just climate control, because there are going to be times where the heat's on, but we tend to keep our house pretty much at the same temperature all year long, whether we're using the heat to do it or the air conditioner to do it. So finally, I have these. These are the hot and the AC version, and I decided to go, I think Lester went this route similarly. I think he used tins, but I decided to use the Cornell and Deal food grade tins. Now, this is the same San Sepolcro tin. By the way, if you haven't tried San Sepolcro, it's actually what I'm smoking right now. It's really good. This isn't a review video, but I will tell you that my opinion of this is that it's a cross between Samuel Gawith. Is it Samuel Gawith? No, it's Gawith and Hogarth. Brown Slice. If you've ever had Brown Slice, it's a very kind of an earthy flavor. And Bayou Morning. So if you took those two tobaccos together, that's real close to what you get in San Sepolcro. So I used this tin just so that I could put more Bayou Morning in it and so that I could vacuum seal it. Now you'll notice, really close, there are holes in the top. I wanted the air to be able to leak out the top of the tin. And I will tell you, this was harder than it looks. Apparently, even a home grade vacuum sealer can create quite a bit of vacuum. I know this because the first couple of times I did this, these lids kept sucking in, like literally sucking inside the tin, and I had to end up kind of poking a few more holes, turning it upside down when I did the vacuum, and kind of press down on it. So there's still enough, if you look real close, there's still creases here around the edge, so I know that the oxygen got out through those holes, but it was kind of a pain in the butt, but worth it for an experiment. So I have the hot version, I have the AC version, and we're going to put all of these in their proper locations. As soon as this video is over, everything will go into their resting places. Now I'm going to keep the aerobic versions pretty handy. I'm going to leave them in a very accessible place. Probably in the garage is going to be in my motorcycle cabinet because I'm always getting in that motorcycle cabinet. And then in my bedroom closet is where I have my actual climate-controlled cellar. But I'm also going to keep this one handy. So I'm going to keep it where I take all my stuff and set it at night, because that way I'll remember once a month, or at least once a month, maybe more. If I know me, it'll be often. But again, that's okay. I want as much oxygen as in there as I can. So special thanks to PT Daily, to Lester Skinner, to Mel Harris, to Four Eyed Piper, and to Eric Rana for taking part in this experiment. Watch their videos. You'll see that we're using a whole bunch of different kinds of tobaccos, and we're even using different methods for how we're doing the vacuuming. So it's not like a scientific experiment. It's a hobby experiment. So everybody's bringing their own take to it, right? Because what we're trying to figure out is how RoadGlideSully, should cellar our own tobacco. What do I like the best? Do I like it when I vacuum seal it, but don't compress it inside of a tin? Do I like it when I open the tins often, or do I like it when I seal the tin, forget about it for a year? That's the question that we're trying to answer, and we're going to help each other do that. So after this experiment's over on May 1st, 2020, we're going to open all this tobacco, divvy it up, send it off to everybody, and then get their feedback on what they like better as well. So we're to see if they even notice differences. I suspect it's only going to be a year process. There may not be any drastic differences. There's going to be some. I think there's definitely going to be some differences. But, we didn't want to do the experiment for 5 years. So we're going to go with a year and see what that does. We'll learn. In a year, we might say, you know what, a year wasn't long enough. Let's do it again for 2 years. Hopefully, we're still all going to be puffing by then. So until the next video in the Cellar Management Series, this is the Cellar Experiment. I am still RoadGlideSully. Keep the rubber side down.